Hello everyone, welcome to OneClass. My name is Shanjita and today I'll be going over some commonly asked math questions both at the high school / university and college levels. So I'm currently a second year human biology student studying at the U of T, and lastly, if anyone needs additional schoolwork help or needs tutoring, you guys will check out the description box below. And other than that, we'll get started. So our first question here says, what if cos theta is equal to half? What is secant theta? What is cotangent theta? And so basically, to find the value of cosecant of theta, and we're given that if cos theta is equal to half, we can basically use the definition of the trigonometric identity cosine, that we know that cosine cos of theta is equal to, so the ratio is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, right? And so comparing the given trigonometric function, so what this states is that we can basically determine that the adjacent side of the right angle triangle is equal to 1 and the hypotenuse is equal to 2, right? So since we're given that cos of theta is equal to a half, we can basically say that 1 is our adjacent side and 2 is our hypotenuse, right? And so basically, we can substitute the value of the adjacent side and the hypotenuse in the formula of the Pythagorean theorem, which is, as you guys probably recall, that the Pythagorean theorem states that you have a squared plus b squared equal to c squared, where c squared is your hypotenuse. And so we can basically calculate the value of the opposite side. In this case, let's say A is our adjacent, C is hypotenuse, and B is our opposite side, okay? And so to find the opposite side, we can basically just rearrange the equation. And in this case, we're solving for b squared. So to do that, we just move the a squared to the other side. So we get b squared is equal to c squared minus a squared. Okay, and so let's just substitute the values for c and a from our cos theta is equal to 1 over 2. And so we can say that c in this case is 2. We have 2 squared, a is 1, so you have 1 squared. So 2 squared is 4, minus 1 squared is just 1. And so you have 3, so you have b squared is equal to 3. However, we're just trying to find b but not b squared. And to find b, we have to square root both sides to get to cancel out the squared. So what we would do, we would just square root both sides. So your squares and your square root and your square will get cancelled. You basically have b is equal to square root of 3. Okay. And so now using the definition of sine, okay, we would have to use sine in this case to find cosecant. If you guys recall, that cosecant is the reciprocal of sine of a sine function. And so let's try to find the ratio for sine. And so sine theta, if you guys recall, is opposite over hypotenuse, right? And so we will be able to basically now determine the value of sine theta. In this case, sine theta, our opposite sides, as we just found, is root 3. So it'll be root 3, and our hypotenuse is still the same. So our ratio of sine theta is equal to root 3 over 2. And now, as I mentioned before, that cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So let's say since cosecant theta is the reciprocal of sine theta, we will be able to basically determine the value of cosecant theta by getting the reciprocal of the above expression, which is root 3 over 2. So thus you can say that cosecant theta is equal to 1. So the reciprocal of root 3 over 2. And so this is basically equal to 2 over root. Okay. And so therefore, we can say, so therefore, you have therefore if the value of cosecant theta, the value of cosecant theta is 2 root 3 when cos theta is equal to a half. Okay. So this is basically our first part. And then the second part of the question says, what is cotangent of theta? Now, let's say to find cotangent of theta, if cos theta is equal to a half, we use the derived values of the adjacent and opposite sides of the right triangle in the computation above. So basically, so our right angle triangle right here, oops, oh, right, good. Okay, we have a right angle triangle. This is your hypotenuse. Okay, and we're, let's say cos theta. So let's say this is our angle, theta. And so let's say this is 1, this is 8. And so what we want to do is that since we know the value of the adjacent side, which is 1, and the opposite side is 2, and the hypotenuse is root. Sorry, I kind of put this up. So this is supposed to be 2 for the hypotenuse, and root 3 is the opposite, right? We can substitute these values in the trigonometric identity for tan theta or tangent theta. So for tan theta, it is opposite over adjacent, right? And so we're just gonna take tan of theta. So we're looking at theta, the angle theta here. The opposite side, as you can see, is root 3. The adjacent side is just 1. And so root 3 divided by 1 is just root 3. And so then getting the reciprocal of the above expression, we will be able to determine the value of cotangent theta. Because as you guys know, that cotangent theta is a reciprocal of tan theta. Okay? So hence, what we would have, what we would have. So cotangent theta would equal to 1 over tan theta. So this is 1 over, right? So therefore, a closing statement could be, therefore the value of cotangent theta if cos theta is equal to a half is 1 over root 3, right? And so we found the values for cotangent theta and cosecant theta, which is over here, right? So these two were our answers: 2 over root 3 and 1 over root. And so they have got 2 over root 3 and 1 over root. So this is correct.